I'm interested in this. You're a presidential leader, scholar.
Mm-hmm.
I see that smile pop on your face, right? Give the audience a glimpse into what the presidential leader scholar is, and how did that experience expand your network?
The Presidential Leadership Scholars Program was probably one of the most impactful leadership experiences I've ever had in my life. So we spent multiple days at each one of those centers, and we went into the deep history. And we had some pretty honest talk that we can't even talk about right now, because that's part of the thing. Like, we have some very clear talk and some challenging conversations. But we talk about, when the chips are down, what does principled leadership look like? And does it mean that I agree with everything that, some of these leaders chose to do? Absolutely not. But what I got to do was against the backdrop of just what this country is supposed to be. And looking at the times that we lived up to it and then times that we haven't, you get to ask some really important questions about yourself. What am I going to do? What would I do in that situation, given the information that they had and that I have, right? You get to really put yourself through that process. The other thing you do is there's something that happens when you're going through and you're looking at these places. You're listening to the phone call that LBJ made to Thurgood Marshall when he gave him the hint that he's probably going to get nominated and put forward to be the first Black Supreme Court justice. You listen to the phone calls that he and Martin Luther King were having as they were getting ready to plan the next big spur that would help get the Voting Rights Act over the hump. And then you have Selma, right? Like, you hear that, and there's something that happens, man. You don't forget it. And you kind of see yourself across this scale of time. And for me, it caused me to, as opposed to lionize these people even more, I saw them in their humanity. And that should not have been as big of an epiphany as it was, but you see these images in black and white, man. It's Eyes on the Prize series that we used to watch, right? Or you remember what CNN looked like on the days of 9/11, right? Like, you see there's some distance there, but when you meet the people, you realize they're people.
Mm-hmm.
They are just people, just like you and I. However, a lot of these people were charged to do some things that were pretty extraordinary. A lot of these people were called to respond to some moments that were pretty extraordinary, which then caused me to ask the question, for them being so normal and having to do abnormal things, what gives me the right to not lean fully into natural people called to supernatural determinants? And that's why the Presidential Leadership Scholars Program was so meaningful, because you go through that experience with 60 other people who become your sisters and brothers for life. And then you guys go out and then try and apply that to change the world in a material way.